Hello, Cinemaster lovers. Welcome back. I hope you're ready for an exciting experience because we've got something special for you today. Get comfortable, grab your snacks, and let's dive right into the action. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's get started. Welcome to a new movie. Our movie today is a horror and action film called The Night Eats the World. Our protagonist gets stuck at his friend's party and falls asleep. He wakes up to find the entire city has turned into zombies. Our movie starts with a young man named Sam, living in Paris, and loves music. He makes a living from it. He was going to visit his friend Fanny to get his music tapes back that she had taken from him before, and he was surprised to find a party at her place. When he saw her, he went to hug her and ask for his tapes, but her boyfriend appeared from behind her, hugged her, and they went into the room, leaving Sam stunned. Sam waited alone in a corner, ignoring the party and the guests. The girl completely ignored him. He was very bored and thought to himself how Fanny could ignore their friendship. After a while, she and her boyfriend came out of the room. Sam and her boyfriend was arguing. She told Sam not to make a scene to avoid ruining the party. Sam responded, "Let's get to the point. Where are the tapes?" Fanny told him they were in the office, so he went to get them. While heading to the office, he bumped into a drunk partygoer and got a nosebleed. He sat down to stop the bleeding but fell asleep. When he woke up, he found the apartment in disarray with blood everywhere and heard frightening noises. He followed the sound and found his friend Fanny on the stairs. He called out to her but realized she had turned into a zombie. She attacked him, but he managed to lock the door quickly. Realizing what happened, he locked himself inside the apartment, terrified. Sam ran to the window and saw a terrifying scene. The building's residents were being chased and eaten by zombies. At the same time, a family tried to escape in a car but were attacked by zombies and couldn't get away. Sam decided to stay in the apartment as it was the safest place. He looked around and saw the apartment filled with blood and silence. He checked his phone and learned through an email that Paris was destroyed and overrun by zombies. He went to the rooftop to survey the area, finding chaos and blood everywhere. He returned to the apartment, realizing he would be there for a long time. He started cleaning the floor. While cleaning, he heard a noise from the apartment below. He put his ear to the floor to listen. Suddenly, a bullet pierced the floor, narrowly missing him, causing him to panic. He looked through the hole and saw an old man who had shot himself. He widened the hole and went into the apartment, finding a body covered with a sheet, shot in the head, and soaked in blood. It turned out the man had killed his wife, who had turned into a zombie, before committing suicide. Sam took the gun and left the apartment. He encountered zombies outside the building. He quietly closed the door to avoid attracting their attention. Feeling hungry, he went to the kitchen to find food. He found canned goods and quickly ate. He gathered all the food, knowing he would be there for a while. He also took knives for self-defense. He noticed keys to other apartments, deciding to enter them to gather supplies. In the first apartment, he encountered zombies but managed to escape and lock the door. He marked it with an X to avoid re-entering. In another apartment, he found food and musical instruments, which he took with him. He saw a zombie trapped in the elevator. Feeling sorry for it, he didn't kill it and introduced himself. Sam would occasionally talk to it. At night, he played music and put on headphones to sleep. The next day, he woke up and looked out to see only scattered zombie remains. Realizing it was too dangerous to leave, he decided to ration his food. Feeling lonely, he played music intensely, attracting zombies to the sound. A month passed with Sam alone. He noticed a foul smell and discovered it came from the apartment below where the old man's bodies were. He performed a burial ritual for them and closed the door. Sam was close to losing his mind. From loneliness, plagued by nightmares of zombie attacks, he decided to exercise to maintain his health. He talked to the zombie in the elevator out of boredom. He used a paintball gun to shoot at zombies from the window. He saw a cat on the street and decided to catch it to protect it from zombies. He tried luring it with tuna but failed. Attempting to catch it, he was attacked by zombies. He fell into a car, kicking him until he got out from the other side. He ran back inside, locking the door. Looking out the window, he saw the cat among the zombies, realizing it was a zombie, so he was too angry. He shot the cat, blaming it for endangering him. Seeing blood on the ground and his hand, he feared he was bitten. He checked for wounds, finding a scratch on his leg. Afraid he was infected, he decided to commit suicide. Preferring death over becoming a zombie, he put the gun to his neck but couldn't go through with it. As he fell asleep, his finger slipped, firing the gun but missing him. He checked himself in the mirror, relieved to see he was still human. Days passed, winter arrived, and Sam was alone. His mental health deteriorated. One day, he looked out the window and saw no zombies. Surprised, he thought they left and decided to escape, but the eerie atmosphere outside made him retreat again. One day, feeling defeated, Sam decided to play musical instruments. He found that the zombies had returned, drawn by the sound of the music. A large number of them gathered to the point that they almost reached him on the balcony, which was extremely dangerous. But the man, having lost his mind from loneliness, went out to the balcony with a drum to provoke them even more. Time passed, and Sam dozed off. He woke up startled by movement behind the door. Approaching cautiously, suspecting there might be a zombie behind it, he fired a shot that pierced through the apartment door. Then, he heard someone crying in pain. Looking through the hole in the door, he saw a human girl lying on the ground, bleeding. He rushed to her, brought her inside and started treating her wound, removing the shotgun pellets from her stomach. After he finished, the girl fainted. Sam felt regretful and blamed himself for what happened. The next day, he woke up to find the girl in the kitchen eating and looking much better. Approaching her, he asked, "Who are you, and what's your story?" She introduced herself as Sarah and explained how she managed to escape the zombies using ropes and hooks to move between rooftops. She also mentioned that other people had survived the same way. Sam felt hopeful knowing there were others alive in the city and that he wasn't completely alone anymore. He introduced Sarah to his friend, a zombie he had befriended in the elevator named Alfred. Days passed, and Sarah lived with Sam. They spent time together, and Sam began composing music. After a few days, Sam realized their food supply was running out. He decided to risk his life to search for food in a zombie-infested area. Returning to a marked apartment, he broke down a door and killed all the zombies inside with his rifle. He collected all the food he could find and returned home with bags full of supplies. When he got back, Sarah was nowhere to be found. He called out for her frantically and eventually went up to the rooftop, where he found her searching for a way to escape. She told him the only way to get out was by using ropes. Sam didn't like her plan and argued, "We're safe here, especially now that we have enough food to last us a long time." But Sarah wasn't convinced. She told him, "Your end will either be madness or you'll end up shooting yourself." Angry, she went back inside the apartment. Sam, reflecting on her words, realized she was right. He went to apologize to her, knocking on her door several times, but she didn't respond. Entering the room, he was shocked to find her lying lifeless on the bed. This was the turning point. Sam discovered that Sarah had been dead for a long time and that everything they experienced together was just a hallucination. Devastated, he mourned her loss, realizing the harsh truth of his reality. She was never really alive. He held a burial ceremony for her and said his goodbyes. Deciding to leave the cursed apartment and venture into the unknown before losing the remaining shred of his sanity, he burned all the tapes that had kept him tied to the place. Before leaving, he opened the elevator door to release his zombie friend Alfred. Strangely, Alfred didn't attack him, as they had become friends. Suddenly, the fire alarm went off due to the smoke from the burning tapes, attracting a large number of zombies. In a frenzy, they attacked Sam, who fought back with gunfire, killing many of them. He retreated into the elevator to protect himself and managed to escape, heading to the apartment below his. There, he was ambushed by a zombie but managed to kill it. Returning to his original apartment, he found it filled with smoke and zombies. Moving cautiously among them to avoid detection, he made his way to the rooftop. Using the ropes Sarah had left behind, he tied himself and jumped to the next building. However, things didn't go as planned. He hit the wall and lost consciousness, hanging from the rope. Hours later, Sam woke up, dangling in midair. Summoning all his strength, he climbed to the rooftop of the building. Exhausted but determined, he looked out at the surrounding buildings and heard distant sounds, giving him hope that other survivors were out there, alive and evading the zombies. To find out what happens next, stay tuned and let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you with a new story.